coming up here on the RFA Kings Cup third round on RBC Sports here for today, we do have the Teloga Derby match between South Coast Rangers and Inter Teloga, and the winner of that match will go through to the quarterfinals of the Cup. And also featured here later on the show, we do have Parantos, as they are going to host Waynord here in the Kings Cup, as Waynord had a very good week by going through into the quarterfinals of the UEFA Champions League by knocking out the famous Real Madrid, and now 3 days later they play a cup competition here against Parantos here for today's show. And hello and welcome everybody here on the show of the RFA Kings Cup here on RBC Sports, as we have here on the studio here for today the one and only pundit Jimmy Hansberg, as this will be a very important game. This will be between South Coast and Inter Teloga. We know that these two teams want to try and go through into the quarterfinals of the Kings Cup trophy. Who do you think should be the better team to walk out of the winner here at the South Camp Stadium in South Coast? It'll be a very important game, this will be, for both sides. They are obviously bitter rivals, of course, down in the southern parts of the nation, or Republic States, and we know that how big this really be in terms of getting themselves through into the quarterfinals of the Kings Cup competition in the next round for both sides. But we know that for Teloga, they seem very bitter after losing 2 consecutive games so far in the league to obviously Georgetown City, and also losing last week to Chartered Saturday. And maybe this might really help them before going to the international break to try and beat their arch rival South Coast at the South Camp Stadium here this afternoon. And they've had a brilliant season, Teloga. Don't get me wrong, you know, last season under Eric Ten Hag, they missed out European football. This season under him, they're in that top 4 position, and they are in that Champions League places they will really want to be, and they're aiming for by the end of the whole season. And we all know that obviously they had a brilliant season with Andre Anana, the goalkeeper, made some real perfect clean sheets, and the best clean sheet goalkeeper in the whole entire league. And he will make a huge difference, hopefully, here for this afternoon to stop South Coast from creating any opportunity to try and stop Teloga from heading through into the quarterfinals of the competition. But speaking about South Coast Rangers, you know, they've been very consistent in terms of where they are at the moment, as they are currently obviously in the top half of the Premier League table, and they're not far off from the European places. But we know that if they can try and get some wins and some victories a little bit maybe in the league there and in, they might be lurking around that position. And they have been okay, they've been so far this season, to be in that position. And we know it's going to be very, very tough to see how, if South Coast can do it. But at the same time, they've still got a good cup competition to play for this game here for this afternoon, if they've got any guarantee for them to try and get further into the competition, and also get further into the finals if they can do as a club like them in terms of their performances so far this season. So a very, very, let's say, big game this is though for both teams, and both teams want the most out of this game to be a win for them to head them through into the next round of this cup competition. And now let's get straight now to the coverage here of this local derby matchup here down in South Coast, as South Coast Rangers, as they are going to play here against Inter Teloga. It's only a 10-minute drive between the two teams in the southern parts of the nation, and these two will play each other right here, right now, for the quarterfinals of the competition, live here for this afternoon. And we are finally here for kick-off for the game, the local derby matchup here between South Coast Rangers and Inter Teloga. And we know that this will be a cup competition that any of these two teams can get a result here by and go through into the quarterfinals of the Kings Cup by next month in April. So there's a lot to play for here between these two sides, and we'll see what comes across here in terms of the result here for this afternoon's game. And it'll be a very brilliant one, it'll be a very epic one, it will be as well, guaranteed, between these two sides. As we've got here for South Coast, we've got Trezeguet up front with Lucas Perez and Poulsen and Thomas Oaksil, and that'll be a very good striking force for South Coast. A very good season so far for them, as they're not far off from the European positions at the moment in the league. As for Inter Teloga, a strong team also. They want to try and get something by the end of this matchup to try and get themselves through into the next round after 2 back-to-back losses in the Premier League to Charlford Saturday and also to Georgington City. So there's a lot to play for here for this afternoon. And South Coast will start kick-off right now. And here we go for the match-up here between South Coast Rangers, the home team, are wearing the away stripe for this game. And they take on Inter Taloga for this tie. Now here's Trezeguet. Now on the ball back here. Now here's Rio. What's a chance here? Maybe a chance for a goal from maybe there from South Coast there. But that's going to be now wide. And now going to be out there for a goal kick in the game here for South Coast in the game. Brilliant good chance though, I've got to say there for Perez. And there's now to be a chance here for a goal kick in the game. So Andre Nina will take the goal kick and boots it away. All the way to Anton Griezmann. And now all the way to pass there now to Lucas Digne. And now is Benjamin Pavard. Now is Solskjaer. Now here's to Thomas Oaksil. Now to Lucas Perez. And now Rio Ferdinand. Now Kovacic now to Anton Griezmann. And that's going to be now a free kick here for Inter Taloga. Free kick's been given here now for Taloga in the game, by the way. And let's see what happens from this now. Now Poulsen will take it. All the way there to Dumfries. Now Shevchenko. Now it's Kovacic now. And now, okay, all the ball back in now to Taloga. Could be a goal maybe, and it's gone all the way to the goalkeeper's hands right there. Now, South Coast really pushing through here now. Good defending there from Matthias de Ligt. And now is Kovacic. Now here's Poulsen. Now here's Trezeguet. He's on the attack here now. And now pass there to Lucas Perez. And now all the way to Solskjaer. And now, good pass back here. Now here's to Lisandro Martinez here. And now here's Griezmann, and good defending right there. Clearance away there from South Coast. And now here's to Perez now. Now here's all the way. Could be a goal maybe. Good defending there from the South Coast here though. And now, pass away. Oh, shot there has been given, but saved right there for the goalkeeper. And that's going to be now out right there now for a corner in the matchup here for Inter Taloga in the game so far. Well, it is 0-0 going into half time nearly so. And we have got a corner here from Frankie de Jong. Header away there from South Coast. And now on the ball back here now, here's Dumfries. Has a chance here, very close. Now here's to David Trezeguet. And that's going to be that here for half time. As it ends of the break here, South Coast Rangers 0, Inter Taloga 0 at half time. And we are back here for the second half, and here we go between South Coast Rangers and Inter Taloga. And now David Beckham now to Kovacic now. Kovacic now all the way. And now it's going to be here a, looks like here, a free kick for South Coast in the matchup. As it looks like here fouls given as Griezmann right there took out there on Oxil. So free kick here for the South Coast team in this game. And now, all the way there now to Desai, now to Lucas Digne. Now Oaksil. And now, pass there now to Poulsen. Good defending. Now it's going to be now a free kick to be given here in this match. Looks at the referee right there. He's having words right there with Kovacic in this match. But yeah, the referee will actually give away a free kick here for South Coast in the matchup here in this game so far. So let's see if South Coast can get anything out of this match. As Perez will take the free kick. And good defending. Has a shot. And now Kovacic now wins the ball back here now. And now all the way there to Martinez. And now here's David Beckham. Crossing the ball. Head away. And now here's Martinez. Now to Mahrez. Now Griezmann. Now Beckham. Could be a goal maybe. Good block. And now we do have a goal kick in the matchup here for South Coast in the match so far. And now we pass it right here now to Magasson. Now to Rento Sanchez. Now to Magasson again. Now is Pavard. Now Rento Sanchez. Now Thomas Oaksil. And now here's Kovacic. All the way there to David Beckham. Beckham now to Mahrez. Has a shot and it's gone obviously wide. And now it's going to be a goal kick here now for South Coast in the game. What a hit I've got to say there now from obviously Kovacic. And that's going to be now a goal kick in the matchup here for South Coast. And it's still 0-0 by the way. And we might have to go to penalties otherwise if it stays like this. And now Lucas Digne. And now here's to Firmino. Now Griezmann. Now here's to Christian Firmino again. Now all the way here now for a chance to score. And now here's Kovacic again. Now here's to De Ligt. And now here's to Frankie de Jong. And now Griezmann. Could be a goal maybe. Clearance away. Now it's Kovacic again. Now here's De Ligt. Now good defending there now. Here's to Poulsen. And now is Lucas Perez. On the attack here, maybe a chance for a goal the last minute of the game. And the whistle blows here for full time. And we are going to penalties here between South Coast Rangers and Inter Teloga as it ends South Coast 0, Inter Teloga 0 at full time. And now Poulsen will take the penalty against Andre Onana. And let's see what happens from this now. Let's see if Poulsen can score the first penalty here against Inter Teloga in the matchup. And now Poulsen will take it. The captain for South Coast will try and hopefully take South Coast into the next round of the King's Cup trophy. And he scores, and it's 1-0 to South Coast. South Coast winning 1-0 in the matchup. Now Onana will be in goal now for this penalty here. Now Griezmann. And has a shot here against the keeper Silzen. And a save right there in the middle of the goal. And now it looks like here Lucas Perez will take the second penalty here. South Coast are in the lead here on penalties. And they are one step closer to head through into the quarterfinals of the Cup and knock out their rivals out here for the third round. And a save right there from Andre Onana. And now game on here as Inter Teloga are trying to get back in the game as possible. And now here's Mahrez will take the next penalty here for Teloga as he shoots and he scores in that top corner. And Jasper Silzen could not do anything about that, unfortunately so. And now here is to David Trezeguet. And he scores and taps it in that bottom corner to make it 2-1 to South Coast. Now David Beckham takes the next penalty here for Inter Teloga in the matchup here against Jasper Silzen. Beckham versus Silzen. Beckham takes it. And he scores in the middle of the goal. And it's 2-2 in the game. And now here's to Christian Firmino versus Andre Onana. And a save right there from Onana. Brilliant save on one hand from Andre Onana. And now here's Lisandro Martinez to make it 3-2 on pens here for Taloga. And he does. What a turnaround right here on the penalty shootout into Taloga. And now we've got Leon Sissoko versus Andre Onana. If he misses his penalty, then Taloga will head through into the quarterfinals of the Cup. And he scores though, and it is 3-3 on pens. But Kovacic now have to score this goal though to put themselves through into the quarterfinals of the King's Cup. He has to score. He has to do it. Taloga can go through here, and he doesn't. And it's a save right there from Jasper Silsen to stop that from going to the back of the net. And now Rento Sanchez now for South Coast. And a save right there from Andre Onana. And now Taloga have to score this goal here. Frankie de Jong must score to send them through into the quarterfinals. Oh my God, he misses. He misses. And now South Coast Lucas Digne has to score against Andre Onana. If he scores this, South Coast will go through instead into the quarterfinals and knock out their rivals out here in the third round. And a save right there from Andre Onana. And now we're down to this last penalty here for Inter Taloga. Last goal wins. Zinchenko versus here Silsen. And he scores. And Inter Taloga head through into the quarterfinals of the King's Cup trophy and knock out their rivals down the road, South Coast, out in the third round of this competition here this afternoon. A real big win right there for Inter Taloga as he won here narrowly on penalties because it was a 0-0 throughout the whole matchup between these two sides. But now Inter Taloga got the win and they are through now into the quarter-final stages of the RFA King's Cup. And tell us your thoughts about this matchup here, Jimmy, in terms of the resilience from both sides, of course, because South Coast took the fight until the end of the game, but unfortunately they couldn't do it on pens. And as of Inter Taloga, they survived on pens, and now they're in the last 8 of the competition. Any thoughts about this game between these two sides in terms of the result here for Ten Hag's Taloga? It was a real brilliant victory it was for Taloga. They narrowly won on pens and, penalty shootouts a very nerve-wracking time, of course, by the end of the game. The anxieties are very high between these teams, but Taloga got the win over the line. I thought that South Coast did quite okay throughout the whole matchup, really gave the fight to Taloga, and even the same thing goes for Taloga as well. They put the fight also and the pressure on South Coast. I think these two teams really were the better teams in the matchup realistically, but it came down to a penalty shootout, and the decider was a victory for Taloga and a win for them to put them through into the last 8. As for the South Coast now, a little bit disappointed for them to not get themselves progressed into the quarterfinals and maybe get a good cut run. They've done that, obviously get to the third round, but it'd be nice for them if they got more further into it. But as for Ten Hag's side, a very, very good win on pens though. And I think South Coast will feel a little bit disappointed, of course, that they couldn't get the win over the line here on that penalty shootout here for this afternoon. Thank you very much there, Jimmy. And now we move on to our next matchup here as we have Waynord who travel away from home against Parantos. A massive win for Waynord during the week in the UEFA Champions League to head themselves through into the quarterfinals of that competition. But could they do the exact same thing here for this afternoon when they take on Parantos away from home? And let's get to that game right now between the two sides. And let's get straight now into this matchup here live at the Allianz Stadium. It will be Parantos versus Waynord. As we do know that Waynord had a really unbelievable during the week in their European night. They went through and knocked out Real Madrid in the UEFA Champions League. This was absolutely massive. This was obviously for the team, for Waynord. And he really played a really good blinder in the matchup, obviously on Wednesday. But as of here this afternoon, 3 days later, they play Parantos in the Cup. And could they go through in that to head through into the quarterfinals of the competition in the next round by next month? But Haaland up front, Williams up front, Robert Cliff up front, they've got a really strong team they've got here, Prantos. As for Waynord, the exact same team. Aguero, that goal scorer at the Bernabeu, will be playing here for this afternoon's game. And could we see Waynord do the exact same thing to Prantos like they did to Real Madrid on that night? They do play FC Porto, by the way, in the quarterfinals of the Champions League by next month. But as of right here, right now, they're playing here away from home as they've been drawn to play them in the Cup competition. So here we go. Let's get it underway here for the RFA Kings Cup between Prantos and the mighty Waynord in this game. But here's a pass there. Okay, lost it back here now to Mkhitaryan. Now here's to Davuj. Now all the way there now to maybe pass there to Mkhitaryan. Now all the way there to clearance away there from Prantos here. Now Robert Cliff. Now here's Vidic. Now Iniesta. And now here's Vieira. And now Mkhitaryan. Now here's Vieira. Now Golstinho. Ronaldinho. Now here's to Williams. Now Iniesta. Now is Vidic. Now Van Dijk now all the way there to Golstinho. And now all the way there to Modric. And now pass there now to Iniesta. And now all the way there back to Iniesta again. Now Patrick Vieira. And now Xhaka. Xhaka there to Williams. Now all the way to Erling Haaland. Now Haaland's through on the attack. Could be a goal and a chance. Beautiful chance it was though. But it has gone obviously wide. And now it's going to be here a goal kick in the game here now for Erling Haaland in the game for Waynord in this matchup. Good chance though for them to try and score here. As it's been very disappointing also for Prantos during the week. We forgot to mention for them to obviously head out against Chelsea on Wednesday in the Champions League. They lost 3-2 on penalties. But as for Waynord, however, that team obviously went through as the last only Republican team left in the Champions League remaining, as they'll be playing FC Porto, I said before, in the Champions League for next month. So we know that obviously for them it's been a bit disappointing for Prantos in terms of their form in the Champions League as of for Wednesday. But for Waynord, they could be probably feeling a little bit confident, obviously, in comparison to Prantos due to that Wednesday's games they've both played in their separate matches in the round of 16. But it's a free kick here for Waynord. Modric has a shot and it's gone all the way now for a corner in the matchup here now for Waynord in the matchup here. So Waynord got themselves a corner from a block from the Prantos defender in this game so far. Now corner here, Modric. In the box here maybe. Head away. Now here's to Neymar. Now here's to Williams. And now here's to Neymar. Shot maybe for Williams. Good defending. And they want to try and bounce back after that defeat against Chelsea and getting knocked out of the European competition. They want to try and make something out of this game here by beating Waynord. But it is still a tough game though between the two sides. Now here's Mkhitaryan now before half time. Could be a chance here for a goal here. And O'Hore clears it away. And the whistle's going to blow any minute now. And it is all over. And that will mean that Prantos and Waynord go into half time goalless here at the break between the two teams. And we are back here for the second half, and here we go. And it is 0-0 at the break, and Waynord kick off the second half. Now Mkhitaryan, now to Robert Lewandowski, now to Aguero again, a goal! Sergio Aguero makes it 1-0 to Waynord, like he did against Real Madrid on Wednesday. And the goals keep on coming for that man, Sergio Aguero, as a goal was scored. And the keeper, James Taylor, could do nothing about that, unfortunately so. And a very bad week for Prantos. They could be heading out also in this cup competition like they did against Chelsea on Wednesday in the Champions League. And it's been a very good week so far for Carlo Ancelotti's side at the moment, as they could win here for today, like they did against Real Madrid to head them out of the Champions League within Wednesday a few days ago. And that is brilliant. I cannot believe that. And Wales have got to get, obviously, a chance to hold out now this game, because Parantos on the attack here in this matchup. Now here's to Iniesta, trying to create another chance here for Wales here. Robert Lewandowski, good defending there from Conor O'Hare here. Now Neymar, and now Granit Xhaka. Xhaka there to Robert Cliff. Cliff now to Williams. And now good defending there slightly. Now Golstino. Now here's to Patrick Vieira. Now Dennis Parker now to Sketnia. And now here's Parker again. Now Ronaldinho. Now all the way to Robert Cliff again here now. Now all the way there. Okay, won the ball back here now. Here's to a pass there now to Xhaka. Now back again, intercept. Now here's Partey. And now here's Dennis Parker now. All the way there to ahead there now again. Now here's Vieira. And now is Sketnia. Now is Robert Cliff. And now Granit Xhaka. Now is Cliff. Iniesta won the ball back again. Nice pass there now to Robert Lewandowski. Good defending. Ronaldinho. Now Dennis Parker. Now Iniesta again. And we've got another, let's say, 10 minutes left to go of the game. 10 minutes, by the way. And Wales has really taken this game very seriously here against Parantos. And now Haaland might be through here. But good defending right there from Wales here. Vidic will take the ball. All the way there to Robert Lewandowski. There's only, let's say, a couple minutes left of the game to go, by the way. Full time will be any minute now. Minute to go left. And the whistle blows for full time, and Wales now progress also, not just in the Champions League on Wednesday, but also progress through against Parantos by 1-0 by Aguero to head themselves through into the Kings Cup quarter-finals in April, as it ends Parantos 0, Wales 1. A very big, good week for Wales. Won against Real Madrid in the quarterfinals of the Champions League on Wednesday. And now here for this weekend, they got the win away from home against Parantos in the RFA Kings Cup trophy. And also went through into the finals of the League Cup going to be taking place in May in 2 months' time. And what is going on with Wales? They've been quite good in terms of the domestic cup competitions and the European Cup to try and go through in that comparison in the league when they're not even in the top 4 positions. But how do you feel on the result here anyways, despite all that, by going through now into the last 8 and beating Parantos here away from home? It's massive for Wales. Yeah, I believe so. In terms of what we played in that game, we showed a lot of, let's say, personality in the game in terms of character and a lot of hunger, and I've seen that in the team recently. Even when we beat Real Madrid in the 2 legs, we've really shown a lot of hunger and that desire to pick up a win and go through like we did on Wednesday. And I think that things are really looking up for Wales, and we've still got a long way to go left of the season to go in terms of where we're currently at in the Premier League. We're currently outside the Champions League places, so things are really looking up for us for Wales. And do you really think that we could win something this season, any competition? I think we probably could do. In terms of us got that League Cup final against Red Bull Tomato in May, that's something that we're probably likely to win. I think the Champions League might be a little bit difficult for us to try and win that. The Premier League, I don't think we'll probably win that competition. As of for the RFA Kings Cup trophy, this competition we played here for today, I think there's a chance we could still do it, but there's still a long way to go the season to go, and see if we do end up winning this competition and also the other competitions also, especially the League Cup final we've got against Red Bull Tomato in May. Thank you very much there, Jimmy. And now we go to the coverage now for all the other games across the nation of the 3rd round of this cup competition here on RBC. A brilliant start for Goldfield in the matchup here at the Forest ground, as Pogba passed the ball there to Kevin De Bruyne to score the first opener for Goldfield within 10 minutes in the game. And that's a good goal right there for the Belgium. And now it is Goldfield lead the game by 1-0 at the Iceberg Arena. And good pass back here and there from Roy Keane, who passed it to Timo Werner. Found a nice pass there to Kevin De Bruyne. Then to Hazard. Nice switch pass there to Werner. And scores another goal past the Iceberg goalkeeper, Martin Dubravka. And now Goldfield scored 2 here past Iceberg. And they are definitely heading through now into the quarterfinals of the King's Cup. And a real perfect run right there for Goldfield in the game here, as Eden Hazard passed it nicely there to Timo Werner, the German, to score another goal there past the keeper right there from Martin Dubravka. As now Goldfield have scored 3 in the game here past Iceberg. Good pass right there for Hazard. And I've got to say there, Werner right there was really composed, he was. And he took the finish really nicely through his laces. And now it's 3-0 to Goldfield in the match. And Jadon Sancho found a nice pass there to Sebastian Shea. And then passed back to Jadon Sancho. And he crossed the ball into the box. And then Hazard for the first time got on the score sheet. And now Goldfield are 4 goals in the lead here past Iceberg Forest. And I've got to say, really good football right there for Goldfield throughout the whole game here this afternoon, as it ends as Iceberg Forest 0, Goldfield Boys United 4 at full time. A very good start for Addis within half an hour in the game, as Angel Di Maria found a great pass right there through the channels to Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, but unfortunately that shot went wide, and that's going to be a goal kick in the game here for Padres Impact. And that's the only best chance in that first half for Addis to try and put themselves in the lead in the game. But as of in the second half, Padres Impact on the counter-attack here. Eric Cantona really pushing through. Has a shot also against the keeper Oliver Kahn. But unfortunately that shot went wide off target also. And now a goal kick for Addis. And the full-time score here blows for full-time, as these two teams will go to a penalty shootout, as it ends Addis 0, Padres Impact 0 at full-time. And the two teams will take it to a penalty shootout to find out who will go through into the quarterfinals of the King's Cup, as Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang will take the first penalty against Hugo Lloris on the Addis Gunners' team here at the Gunner Park Stadium. So Aubameyang takes the first penalty for Addis Gunners, as he placed that ball, unfortunately, to a save from the goalkeeper Hugo Lloris to stop that ball from going into the back of the net. So still 0-0 on pens. But as of a Padres Impact, Oliver Kahn takes himself into the spot, as Lacazette has a shot for Padres and a save right there for Kahn to stop Padres to put themselves in the lead here on pens. But then Memphis Depay had a shot for Addis and a save right there from Hugo Lloris. And no goals at all so far in this matchup here on pens. But then Eric Cantona took the second penalty for Padres and scored the first goal of the opener of the penalty shootout here for this afternoon. And then Angel Di Maria took the penalty here for Addis, and a save right there from Hugo Lloris there to stop him from scoring. And then Malcolm had a chance to score here against Oliver Kahn, the goalkeeper, and that was a goal in the middle of the goal to make it 1 here for Padres. But as of now for Mesut Ozil, he will take the third penalty for Addis Gunners in the matchup. And unfortunately, it looks like here that Mesut Ozil had a very tough day in the office, because Lloris saved that penalty and Padres head through into the quarterfinals of the RFA King's Cup after that penalty shootout, as it ends 2-0 on pens here for Padres Impact this afternoon. Nice counter press here from Los Andreas, who scored the first opener in the matchup here in the first 4 minutes in the game by Radamel Falcao. And I've got to say, great pass and move right there from Falcao to Zlatan, to Hulk as well involved, and then back right there to Falcao to get the finisher into the back of the net, and they do lead the game by 1-0. But unfortunately for Los Andreas, the 1-0 lead wasn't long enough for them, as unfortunately Gomes head the ball into the back of the net to make it 1-1, as Sporting Sun Lake equalised in the game for any hopes for them to try and get through into the quarterfinals of the RFA King's Cup by the end of this afternoon. And then 60 minutes later in the second half, a nice goal there from Los Andreas as Falcao had a 1v1 chance to slot that ball past the keeper Bill Hilton, and now Los Andreas scores another goal in the game here to make it 2-1. Two great goals from Ramon Falcao, and now Los Andreas do get the victory here for this afternoon. They head through into the quarterfinals of the King's Cup as it ends this afternoon as Los Andreas 2, Sporting San Lake 1 at full time. And the Georgington Red Devils go 1-0 in front within 15 minutes in the game as Kylian Mbappe scores the opener, as David Ospina unfortunately could not save that 1v1 finish right there for Mbappe, as that shot right went to the top corner, as now the Red Devils are 1-0 up in the matchup. As of obviously for Grasshoppers, Ciro Immobile really pushing forward here for Grasshoppers. Found a pass there for Felipe Anderson, back there to Ciro Immobile, and Grasshoppers have got themselves back in the game, and it is now 1 apiece here between the two sides here at Old Factory Road. And Joshua Kimmich right there looks very frustrated, he does, on the Red Devils' team not defending that chance as Grasshoppers equalise, and they've got maybe some hope maybe to try and make a shocker and beat the Red Devils here at home to get themselves through into the quarterfinals. But that wasn't the case for Grasshoppers United, because the Georgington Red Devils got themselves 2-1 up and got themselves back in the lead in the game by a goal from Kylian Mbappe once again. And that was a real perfect goal and a real perfect finish for Mbappe once more, as the Georgington Red Devils are now being sent into the quarterfinals of the RFA King's Cup quarterfinal. All thanks to that man right there, Kylian Mbappe, as it ends the Red Devils 2, Grasshoppers United 1. Premier League side Newport Dragons put themselves in the lead in the game here as Christian Pavon passed it nicely right there to Johan Cruyff in that top corner, and Newport Dragons put themselves in the lead within 20 minutes before full time, as second league side New Holland Resolution lost the game against Newport Dragons, as it ends here at the Olympic Stadium. Newport Dragons 1, New Holland Resolution 0, and Newport Dragons head through into the quarterfinals of the Cup. The official results of the King's Cup third round, as Iceberg Forest 0, Goldfield Boys United 4, Addis Gunners 0, Padres Impact 0, and Padres do win 2-0 on pens. Dietrich Dons 4, Newport City 3, Los Andreas 2, Sporting San Lake 1, Parentos 0, Warenord 1, the Georgington Red Devils 2, Grasshoppers United 1, South Coast Rangers 0, Inter Taloga 0, and Inter Taloga win 4-3 on pens, as we have Dietrich Dons 1, New Holland Resolution 0 by the end of all the results here of the third round of the King's Cup Trophy. And now the official fixtures of the quarterfinals of the King's Cup, as Warenord versus Inter Taloga, Newport Dragons versus Los Andreas, the Georgington Red Devils versus Dietrich Dons, and Goldfield Boys United versus Padres Impact. As of for next week, international football returns back on our screens, as it's been the last 6 months of international football occur, but Republic States do play against Armenia in the World Cup qualifiers starting from next week on Thursday, and that'll be live on RBC Sports. But that's all we have time for here for the coverage here for the RFA King's Cup Trophy for this afternoon, as we'll be progressing now into the quarter-final stages of the RFA King's Cup Trophy for next month. And that'll be all from us here on the King's Cup here this weekend, as I'll be back for next week for some international football between Republic States and Armenia and Republic States and Gibraltar. Until then, have a very good evening.